Hey guys, it's Phantom, and welcome back, or welcome to my... Oops. Okay, let's try this again. Hey guys, it's Phantom, and welcome back, or welcome to my channel, for another reaction video. Now, I was filming a other reaction video, which I will refilm later, but I came across this video, and I haven't reacted to cooking related videos in a while. I know this isn't Sims like gameplay related, but this is Sims cooking related. So I came across this video by Binging with Babish, and I've been watching this channel for quite some time now. If you don't know who Babish is, he makes food from popular TV shows or video games, like you name it. He's made a lot of TV show inspired cooking related videos. He does more than just TV and movie and stuff related videos. But I came across this and I was like, I don't think I have ever seen someone like make food. Well, I've seen like those challenges that Sims YouTubers do, but never something like this. So I thought it would be interesting to react to it.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to Binging with Babish, where this week we're Blue Hubanubi, O Fibule, Tony Shaluba, excuse me. We are entering the world of The Sims, literally. The good people from EA put me into the Sims world because this episode is sponsored by The Sims 4, the original life simulation game that has empowered people to discover themselves, share personal stories, and shape culture for over 20 years. The latest addition to The Sims 4, the Cottage Living expansion pack, offers new ways.
So yeah, like I literally thought this would be a perfect video to react to today because, hey, it's Sims inspired, it's cooking, and I like reacting to these types of videos. So let's get on with it.
Play with animal friends, build a close-knit community, and whip up garden-to-table meals. Cottage Living is available July 22nd. Click the link in the video description to learn more. But before you head off to your new cottage,
if you're wondering, Cottage Living is not available yet until Friday. Today is the 20th when I am filming this video, and Cottage Living hasn't been released yet, so
dishes from the world of The Sims. Let's start with one of the very easiest dishes in the game, mac and cheese. Fittingly, we're going to make the world's easiest mac and cheese recipe. Bring 1.5 cups of whole milk and 1 cup of water to a boil, adding 8 ounces of elbow flavored macaroni, and cooking for the manufacturer's specified cooking time. In the case of this macaroni, 5 minutes. Once the macaroni is just shy of fully cooked, we're going to add 4 ounces of shredded yellow American cheese, which is loaded full of stabilizers and emulsifiers that's going to help give us a creamy, stable sauce. Once the American is fully melted, we're killing the heat, adding 4 ounces of shredded cheddar, covering and letting sit for 5.
This isn't a challenge video, but he like literally shows you how to cook meals from TV shows, video games, you name it. So yeah, that's really cool. So if you ever wanna learn how to make Sims meals, you can just refer back to this video. I guess. Well, back to the original video.
5 minutes so the cheddar can more gently melt without breaking. Once the 5 minutes is up, give it a stir, add some more cheddar if it's a little bit too liquidy, season with salt to taste, and then we need to nail the game's form factor, a domed orange-yellow blob. So we're going to place the mac and cheese in a stainless steel bowl lined with plastic wrap, let it set at room temperature for about an hour, dump it out onto a plate, give it a little shimmy to set it free, remove the plastic wrap, and there you have it, the Sims mac and cheese. All it needs is a garnish of fresh parsley. And I know what you're thinking, that's dumb. Well yeah, but we're just trying to make it look like the thing from the game and make it accomplishable for a player at skill level 0. But what about more like a level 2 or 3? For that, we're going to mix together some butter with some panko breadcrumbs, use those to coat the outside of our cheesy dome, then we're going to thoroughly lubricate our source bowl with butter, plop our mac and cheese dome back in there, have a very delayed reaction to the fright it gave us, and start scooping out the center, maybe snacking a little bit as we go along. Our intention is to end up with a sort of half mac and cheese globe, which we're going to reinforce with another smaller buttered bowl and bake in a 400-degree Fahrenheit convection oven for about 15 to 20 minutes, just until it's turning nice and golden brown and crispy around the edges. Carefully dig out the inner bowl and run an offset spatula around the outside of the inside of the outer bowl. Fill the cavity with a fresh batch of mac and cheese. Invert onto a plate and give it a nice tappa to make sure that it breaks free from its bowl-like prison. And there you have it, an upside-down mac and cheese molten lava cake. One that looks even more like the one from the actual game. He even does my little reveal dance. That's spooky. Let's see if we did Chef Carl Casper proud. Yes, it's nice and molten in the center. And I definitely could have let it crisp up a little bit more on the bottom, but we've got bigger fish to fry. And by fish, I mean eggplant. Eggplant is one of the newly available vegetables in cottage living, and it enables you to make aubergine parmesan.
If you're wondering what aubergine is, it's eggplant. It's another word for eggplant. It's, I think it's like British. I think it's British for eggplant.
Or eggplant parm. So I'm going to start by slicing up 1 large or 2 medium eggplants, lightly salting the slices on both sides and sandwiching them between paper towels, then stacking them on a series of rimmed baking sheets that we're going to weigh down with something heavy, like a cast iron casserole. Perhaps the very cast iron casserole that we're going to bake our aubergine parmesan in. Is that messed up somehow? No? I didn't think so. While our eggplant compresses for 1 hour, we're going to make a super basic marinara sauce. In a heavy bottom sauce pot or enameled cast iron Dutch oven, we're sweating 1 small finely chopped onion and a little bit of olive oil for 3 to 5 minutes over medium heat until softened, adding 3 or 4 crushed cloves of garlic and a little sprinkle of red pepper flake, sauteing for another 30 seconds or until aromatic, and then adding 2 28-ounce cans of crushed San Marzano tomatoes, an optional tablespoon or 2 of tomato paste, and 2 sprigs of basil. Partially cover and let simmer over low heat for about an hour until it's sweet and mellow and tastes like, well, marinara sauce. By this time, our eggplant should be about ready to rock. Salting and compressing our eggplant like this before cooking helps draw out moisture. Not only is this going to give them a better texture and help prevent our casserole from turning into a soup, it's going to get rid of some of the eggplant's naturally bitter flavors. Next up, a standard 3-stage deep fry. Flour seasoned with kosher salt and freshly ground black pepper, plain breadcrumbs seasoned with dried basil, oregano, and parsley, and 4 eggs, shells removed. Tiny whisk everybody to a state of homogeneity. Use the wet hand, dry hand technique to prevent bready buildup on your fingertippies, and dip your eggplant slices first in the flour, then in the egg, then in the breadcrumbs, arranging on oiled racks set in rimmed baking sheets. Now we're headed on over to the not so
I know it's not fully cooked yet, but that looks really good.
deep fry. We got about 1 inch of vegetable oil
I have to stop watching these. I have to stop reacting to cooking videos when I'm hungry. I mean, I just saw it and I had to react to it, but I am so hungry and I just think it's a bad idea.
To about 350 degrees Fahrenheit, into which we're going to deposit our breaded slices and fry on both sides until deeply golden brown and crisp, removing and draining on paper towels to keep them that way. Not that it matters, because we're about to smother them in sauce and cheese and bake them, so I don't even know why you deep fry in this recipe, but you do. We're starting with a layer of sauce in our casserole to prevent things from sticking, shingling a layer of our deep fried eggplant medallions, and topping with some shredded or thinly sliced, full-fat, low-moisture mozzarella. Top that up with some more of our marinara sauce, and top that up with some freshly grated Pecorino Romano or Parmesan cheese. Rinse and repeat until the casserole is full. Then for the final layer, we're topping with sauce, some more Parmesan, and 6 discs of fresh mozzarella. We're using fresh on top because it tastes great and it looks nice, and low moisture in the middle so we don't end up with soupy parm. Throw a lid on there or tent the casserole with foil so it doesn't touch the cheese. Pop it into a preheated 350 degree Fahrenheit oven for 35 to 40 minutes until the cheese has begun to melt and things are starting to bubble. Back into the oven for another 25-30 30 minutes or so, cranking up the temperature at the end if you want to get some nice browning. Then, like virtually any casserole, we're going to let it rest for 10 minutes before serving. I can also see that the one in the game is dotted with what looks like torn fresh basil, so I'm going to scatter those all about before cutting myself a slice. Who else is ready to really destroy the roof of their mouths? I know my avatar is. Flabbergaka. You said it, guy. This delicious eggplant parm, or aubergine parmigiana, brings me right back to Rochester, New York's Italian culinary and cultural epicenter, Mark's Pizzeria. Now on to one of the most difficult meals to prepare in the game, something I've always kind of not really wanted to try making, baked Alaska. We just made a whole mess of ice cream on last week's basics, so go check that out
Oh my
if you want
god,
to
I
make your own
forgot
ice
you
cream.
can make that in the game. Like, I literally forgot you can make that.
Otherwise, you just gotta beat your favorite store-bought stuff to a soft serve consistency, lay down first a layer of vanilla in a large plastic wrap-lined bowl, get it nice and smooth, pop it into the freezer for about 30 minutes to firm up, followed by a layer of strawberry, followed of course by a layer of chocolate, because we're going for a Napoleon baked Alaska. Once you got all 3 ice creams in there, go ahead and pop that in the freezer so we can make our cake base. First, we gotta find a cake pan exactly the size of the width of our ice cream bowl. Cut out a layer of parchment paper that we're gonna line the bottom with, but not before lubing the whole thing up with nonstick spray, both the top and bottom of the parchment paper. Then we're gonna make a super simple chocolate sponge, starting by cracking 3 large eggs into the bowl of the stand mixer, which we're gonna whip together with 50 grams of granulated sugar for anywhere from 3 to 5 minutes on medium-high speed until it reaches what I like to call the slobbering St. Bernard phase. Did I just ruin cakes for you? I'm sorry. Now we're going to sift together the dry ingredients onto a piece of parchment paper. 30 grams of all-purpose flour, 20 grams of cocoa powder, a half teaspoon baking powder, and a quarter teaspoon kosher salt. Sift that through at high speed so it looks cool. Tip it directly into our wet ingredients and then gently fold them together using a rubber spatula. We want to do our best not to knock out all the air that we beat into our eggs. Then we're gently pouring 20 grams of melted unsalted butter down the side of the bowl, gently folding that in, and dumping the results into our prepared cake pan. Get that nice and smooth and drop it into a preheated 375-degree Fahrenheit oven for 10 to 12 minutes until it just starts to pull away from the sides of the pan, like this. Then we're going to allow this to cool completely in the pan before turning it out and merging it with our ice cream entities. It should come out of the pan with little to no resistance. Peel off the parchment paper, plop this guy on top, wrap everything tightly in plastic wrap, and stow this in the freezer overnight so everything can firm up. And now for the reason why The Sims requires you to be a cooking level 10 to make this dish, whipping and subsequently torching an Italian meringue. We're starting by separating 4 large egg whites.
Oh, you
into
do have to
bowls.
be at level 10. That's why I've never seen it on the That's why I've never seen it on the menu in the game.
And mixer, adding a quarter teaspoon of cream of tartar, and whipping those together on high speed for about 1 to 2 minutes until they reach the snot phase. Meanwhile, over on the stovetop, we're combining 225 grams of sugar with 45 grams of water, placing it over medium-high heat and allowing it to simmer until it reaches 240 degrees Fahrenheit, the softball stage. Take that off the heat, and then with the mixer running on medium-high speed, slowly, very, very carefully stream it right between the sides of the bowl and the blades of the whip. Once everything's been added, crank the speed all the way up to high and whip this guy for a solid 15 minutes until the bowl is cool to the touch, indicating that this stuff won't melt our iced cream. And there you have it, Italian meringue, which we must now spread evenly and decoratively on top of our Napoleon ice cream cake, which we're going to fetch from the freezer, invert onto our cake stand, carefully remove its protective bowl shell, and aggressively remove the very, very stuck-on plastic wrap. And we're going to place all this on top of a fireproof surface because things are about to get hazardous up in here. Spread the meringue over top and get it into a nice even layer, about 1 inch thick. We want it thick not only to protect the ice cream from the hot flames, but so we can carve a decorative pattern. In my case, a sort of spiral that I'm hoping the alcohol will slide down like an Italian meringue luge. Bring a little bit of white rum to a simmer, set it aflame, and very, very, very carefully pour it over top of your meringue with what I would call disappointing results. My fire slide didn't work, and I may have gotten a little scared. Just some of the many reasons that you should not try this at home. Instead, we're going to act more like a level 9 sim and just use a good old-fashioned culinary torch to give this thing a patchy but pretty toasted marshmallow exterior. Now all there's left to do is dip a knife in some hot water, wipe it clean, and use it to cut some big old slices of this big old cake. And of course, take a look at that cross-section. Now I know this is a giant baked Alaska, and in the game they're much smaller and more individual sized, but in my defense, I forgot. So pretend that this is a fraction of the size and there's 6 of them. And then just dig into this overcomplicated, very 1950s, underwhelming dessert. But I mean, it's still good. It's ice cream, toasted marshmallow, and cake, which as you can imagine is a nice combo. Might not be worth all the effort, but hey, at least I didn't have to make ambrosia, right? Thanks again to The Sims for sponsoring today's episode. To get more of your Sims cooking fix, head to the link in the video description to check out the Cottage Living expansion pack, available July 22nd. Cottage Living is full of new recipes and a brand new challenge that requires your Sims to use the freshest ingredients. You can grow your own produce, source your ingredients from your cows and chickens, go to the village market, or go foraging in the wild. Plus, you can enter a variety of competitions such as Best Cow or Best Llama at the Finchwick Fair. You might even see a familiar face, mine, available to download from the gallery so you can recreate today.
What? Oh my god. EA really made Babish. What?
Today's episode in your very own cottage.
Did you know you've been missing out on saving money with Honey? Don't worry, I'm here to help you add Honey to your browser in just 2.
Okay, so that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. It was a little bit different. Well, not really. It was sort of different than what I had planned, but I was like, hey, I saw it and I wanted to react to it, and it looked really good. Plus it was Sims related, so yeah. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, and please subscribe to my channel for more videos. As usual, I will leave a link in the description down below to this video so that you can watch it for yourselves. And with all that said, I'm gonna go. Goodbye, guys.